Hey everybody, this is Charlie Morris with Salmonfolk Films, and I always tell myself I'm gonna start putting stuff on YouTube or whatever, posting daily, trying to keep people involved in the story, but it's hard to be in the creative process and then take the time out to do that. I just want to give you an important update. So, episodes 1 through 5 of Salmonfolk Radio podcast are already out. You can listen to them right now, and I think that you should. So what I've been working on is everything that's going to be in season 1 after episode 5. And basically it's the story of my time on Vancouver Island in 2018 when I was there with 3 musical storyteller, author / performers from Norway when they went over to do a live stage performance of Martin Lee Mueller's amazing book, Being Salmon, Being Human. So they created a performance based on that book. They went on tour. I was embedded with the group. I toured with them. And all of this is under the banner of learning about what's up with salmon fish farms and why it's a good idea to quit eating farmed salmon. So this month I've been working on all of that content along with supplemental interviews that I did with people from around the world, trying to wrestle it down into one cohesive message in the form of podcast. So it's really a travelogue as well as journalism. It's not just I sat down. It's not like one day I just decided, no offense, but to so many during the pandemic, they're like, I'm going to make a podcast. And it's just them sitting on their couch talking about life. That's not what this is. A little more sophisticated than that. So these are the transcripts from episode 6 on that I have already edited. What you do in Premiere Pro is I line up all of the footage for a certain day, and then I export it all as an MP3 file. And then I send it to rev.com, which does a computer-aided, quick transcript version of what was said. Then I go in and I assign all the speaker names, and then I get it all printed out into one of these things here, like I was already showing you. And it's quite a bit of work to go through all of this and edit it down. And then I take this, I compare it to my timeline, and then I cut all the parts. Like this part right here, where there's no highlighter, this would be cut from the timeline. And then once I cut it down, then I have to go back through and I have to do voiceover narrative to weave the disconnected parts of the transcript together, add in sound effects, add in background music, and then the whole thing has to get sound mastered. So the episodes that I'm working on now won't come out until all of that sound mastering happens. I can take everything up to the point of dropping in music and sound mastering. And yes, I do need money for that because that's not my wheelhouse. But anyway, today's a big day. Okay, here's why. So, I just got back from Staples and I got more binder clips. Fun binder clips. And most importantly though, I have this. This box has in it all of the remaining episodes that will be in season 1. It's episodes 15 through 19. So it ends with episode 19. And I actually even have enough interviews to then start season 2, which I've already determined is going to be sort of okay, we've spent season 1 talking about Vancouver Island, and now we're going to go out worldwide. And I'm going to interview people from Norway, interview people from Scotland, Chile, the Orkney Islands. Just what's the state of salmon farming globally now that we've sort of established how awful it is in British Columbia. So I'm pretty excited about this. It's so wild to finally have the fortune and the time to set aside time. Let me rephrase that. I do not have a fortune. What I mean is I've had the good luck to have a set of circumstances to where I was willing to take the risk to say, I'm not going to work for anyone else at this point in my life. I'm just going to work on this conservation issue that's really important. So yeah, that's it. That's where we're at. So my current house sitting gig, which is the way I keep my costs low, as I move from one house sitting gig to another right now, it ends June 4th. So by June 4th, I will have gone through those 150 so pages of transcripts, and I will have the timelines completely lined out, and everything will be done, including voiceover recording. I have to re-record all my voice notes into my professional setup microphone, and then it'll just be time to try to fundraise to pay for the sound mastering and editing. And I've got a guy lined up for that, but I don't have the money for that. So I'm really hoping I can find sponsors, or angel investors, whoever wants to help me pay for it. It is not inexpensive to pay for professional level sound editing. And I feel like it's a story that deserves that kind of quality. It doesn't matter how good your story is. If it doesn't sound good in a podcast, people just simply turn it off. So anyway, it's good stuff.